welcome to America, the U.S. Embassy's American Center with me, Hasna Rohani, as one of the e-guides. And you are watching Workshop at America, Journaling for Stress Relief. And also hi to our online audience members joining us online from our social media platforms. Rise and shine, everybody. It's Saturday. Let's embrace the weekend with a positive mindset and a heart full of gratitude. And it's time to focus on more self-care. So, a little bit question for you guys today. What is the kindest thing you did today to yourself? Hal apa yang kamu lakuin hari ini untuk diri kamu sendiri? Mungkin ada yang stretching, ada yang went for a walk mungkin. Pada ngapain nih tadi pagi nih? Atau sengaja reward diri sendiri dengan bangun lebih siang. Itu juga self reward ya. Oke, nah itu salah satu self care. Kalau aku tadi pagi-pagi udah baca buku berapa halaman, udah did a little morning stretch juga, sama makan soto, salah satu makanan favorit aku juga. Jadi self care itu berbagai macam ya bentuknya, dan hari ini kita akan practice on another form of self care juga. Nah, tapi ada hal yang paling kecil yang bisa kita lakukan setiap hari nih. Have you hug yourself today? No? Oke, kalau gitu boleh peluk dirinya sendiri hari ini. Boleh peluk dulu. I'm so proud of myself. Nah, sesuai dengan partner yang akan kolaborasi pada hari ini bersama At America, we are proudly present our special event today with the self hug. Kita akan diajak untuk practice self love more karena a strong sense of self love can help to combat stress and anxiety. Ketika kita value ourselves, we take care of ourselves, we put ourselves first, and we prioritize our happiness. Nah, salah satu cara untuk distress sebagai self love adalah dengan journaling yang akan kita lakukan hari ini. But before we begin, I have here, as usual, a little trivia quiz for you. And the question for today is, true or false, writing about stressful experiences only increases negative emotions? You may type in your answer at any time during the session on our social media platforms. The lucky one who can guess the answer correctly will get a live shout-out from us by the end of this event. Alright, now to begin our session, allow me to pass the floor to our lovely moderator today. She is the co-founder of the Self Hug, as well as the former e-guide here at America. Everyone, please give a welcome to Kanina Priatna.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hi everyone. Selamat siang. Thank you for being here, by the way. Sorry kalau aku agak jalan-jalan sedikit, nggak apa-apa ya. So let's start. I just want to say hello, and I want to introduce the self-hug a little bit to all of you. Yeah, maybe just some housekeeping notes. Maybe for this session, because it's going to be super interactive, I would really like for you guys to keep an open mind and really engage with each other during the session, yeah? And also, there will be a Q&A as well, so if you have any questions, raise your hand and then we'll give you the mic and you can ask directly. And of course, I see you already have your workbooks. We will use that in the journaling session in a few minutes. Okay, so a little bit about the Self Hug. We are a well-being brand from Indonesia. And we offer a few things, which is intentional and science-backed well-being tools. We also do workshops like today, and we also have retreats that aims to enhance your well-being. In terms of our big mission, it's actually quite simple. We just want to help individuals to find their personal growth, also kind of have that emotional balance, and be able to create meaningful transformation, meaning positive change in your daily lives. And our dream, of course, as a brand, is to make well-being more accessible to everybody by offering resources that are practical and easy to use that people can have to build emotional resilience, to embrace, your individuality, and also thrive. Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned, we have a few things that we offer. First, our well-being tools is in the form of guided journals. I had it actually, but I left it somewhere. But yeah, we have several. We have 3 products, and each of them have specific. They help you to achieve specific well-being goals. JD, we have the self-reflection, which is focused on building self-awareness. We have the self-discovery, which is for building holistic health. And we have the goal planner, which is for, of course, goal planning. And our workshops, which you will experience today, might be a little bit different. It's quite practical. And so I want the focus to be more on you and not on me. So I will guide you through the journaling session today. And then last, we have a community which is online. It's free, of course. It's on Instagram. So if you guys join, we will give you access to experts, like Ghianina, which you will talk to as well today. And then you can also get special prompts that we don't give to just everyone. So yeah, I think the most interesting part will be this section. So I will invite Ghianina to introduce herself and start the presentation. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Nina, for introducing me. So, hello, everyone. My name is Ghianina. I go by Gia. I am a clinical psychologist. I specialize in children and adolescents, actually, but I do have experience working with young adults as well. So, my academic journey includes an overseas education, but I did my clinical training here in Indonesia. So, together today with Self Hug, I think it's I don't know how many times we've collaborated before. Yeah, we've collaborated before doing these kinds of workshops, journaling workshops, and today I'm gonna talk more about what is wellness. The 8 pillars of wellness. How is it related to stress and how to manage it, and which one of it is including journaling. Okay, so let's just get started. So, what is well-being? So, well-being itself, sometimes we talk a lot about it, like, I'm doing this to improve my well-being, and etc. But do we really know what well-being is? So, well-being is the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyle that lead to a state of holistic health. What holistic health means? It means that it is the approach that we try to combine all aspects within ourselves, the whole body, so both physical, mind, body, and spirit. So we try to find a balance within all of those aspects in order to achieve optimal health. So that is well-being. And in order for us to achieve that optimal well-being, we can use these 8 pillars of wellness as our guidance. So we have the emotional, mental, physical, intellectual, spiritual, professional, environmental, and financial. Yeah, so I will break down each aspect of wellness today, and we will see how it is related to our overall well-being. Yeah, so the first one is the physical wellness. So physical wellness itself, it focuses on maintaining a healthy body through regular exercises, proper nutrition, and also good sleep. Yeah, good sleep means both in quality and quantity. So why do we need to focus on physical wellness? Because again, if you've heard it before, like there's everything related to our physical and mental health are always related. So the first thing that we can do is the first one is to do regular exercises. And the physical activity that you do, it can be anything. So it doesn't have to be like the high intensity training or like running, like little things that we do, that like little movements that produce sweat, like just jogging, just walking around the house, doing yoga, doing Pilates is also a good option for doing exercises. Yeah, and also the second one is having proper nutrition. So I think nowadays we need to start paying attention to what we consume, yeah, what we eat, what we drink, because it really affects our emotional aspect, our brain, and definitely our whole body. Yeah, so like for me, I nowadays I understand how caffeine has been impacting me, like how it sometimes makes me feel restless, have more rapid heartbeat, make me hard to sleep, and things like that. So I try to avoid that. So those small things that trying to figure out what works for us in terms of what we eat, what we drink is really important. Yeah, and the last one is getting enough sleep. Sleep is a very important aspect in our lives. So not only in quantity again, but in quality. Yeah. Okay. The next one is intellectual wellness. So intellectual wellness itself is about stimulating your brain and how we engage in activities that promote critical thinking, creativity, and basically being open to new knowledge. Yeah, new skills, learning new stuff, and this can be done through like doing these kinds of workshops, meeting with new people with different backgrounds, reading a new book. Yeah, it's always good to learn something new because there's always something new to learn. Yeah, sometimes we think as we get older, we think that we know everything. That's what I see a lot in my clients as well. But there's always room to grow. Yeah, so that is why it's really important, and it's the way how we stimulate our brain, the way we engage in those activities. We keep an open mind, we stay creative, and also we keep growing. Yeah, okay, so, and then we have spiritual wellness. So spiritual wellness itself, it refers to a sense of connection to something larger than yourself. Yeah, so by understanding this spirituality within ourselves, we usually develop a set of values, beliefs, and also principles that give us meaning and purpose in life. And it may or may not be involve religious practices. Yeah, sometimes when we hear about spiritual, we tend to think directly to, oh yeah, I have to practice like religious activities like routinely, but it doesn't have to be always that way. Yeah, it's basically us finding our own values and beliefs as our guidance through life, so that we know why we do things. Yeah, why we work this, why we decide to do stuff. So that becomes the guidance for our life. And then there's a professional wellness. So professional wellness is about achieving your fulfillment through career and satisfaction from your career or work, but still while maintaining a balance between your work and your personal life. Yeah, when you've heard work-life balance, so this is it. This is what they mentioned about professional wellness. And can be done through setting clear career goals. Ooh. Should I continue? Okay. By setting career goals, really identifying when we decide to do something in our work, we decide, okay, what is our goal for now? Let's say we decide the short-term goal is, okay, in 1 month, I need to reach this certain target. Or in a year, our long-term goal, okay, I need to be promoted, let's say. So by having those goals, we kind of have the step-by-step. We kind of know what we need to do in order for us to get there. Yeah, because that way we have a certain guidelines. So when we work, we kind of know, oh yeah, because I want to reach that. Like the big goal or the big dream is, let's say, I want to be rich, right? That's the big one. But okay, how to get there? Okay, we break it down to certain goals, like, okay, I need to be promoted, or I need to advance my career in this area by doing blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's what it means by having a goal. And also through professional wellness, we are encouraged to do collaboration and communication with our teammates, with our supervisors, and we also, again, the same with the intellectual wellness, we keep learning and growing. Yeah, from that opportunity, we find a way to, stay open with new experiences, with new learnings. Sometimes our bosses give us some tasks that are really outside of the box or something outside of our comfort zone. And we sometimes think like, what? Like I've never done this before, right? But then when we just just keep an open mind, just try our best to learn and ask around how to do it. That's one of the best ways to grow, I will say. Okay, and then the next one is the environmental wellness. So this relates to us living in harmony with your surroundings, making your recognizing the impact of your lifestyle on the planet and creating a safe, clean space, healthy living environments. Yeah, so it involves us adopting practices, doing activities that reduce harm to the environment. So we focus on the comfort, the safety, and also being connected to nature. And one of the easiest ways to do this is by engaging in eco-friendly activities. Right? Nowadays, it's becoming a lifestyle and a trend where we no longer use water bottles, but instead we use tumbler. And there are so many tumblers available nowadays, yeah, like Owala, Stanley, Corksicle, and more brands. So that's one of the ways that we can I would say preserve our planet, save our planet, and be connected with the nature. Okay. Okay, the next one is financial wellness. So, what does how does it relate it to our well-being? So by focusing on our finances, so it refers to effectively managing our financial resources, having control over your finances, making informed financial decisions to achieve stability, security, and also freedom. Yeah, so this includes managing our money well by doing budgeting, understanding what we need to do with our money instead of just spending them, saving, investing, maybe start investing just small amount of money, and that way it's actually a way to prepare for the future, whether it is for a growing family in the future, or what you want or your dream in the future, or maybe just for like an emergency cash. Like for instance, like in COVID, there's so many people are very affected financially because of the pandemic, right? And so this is one of the ways that we can prevent that. That is to manage our finances early on to make sure that we have that sense of stability, sense of security. Okay, the next one is the social wellness. Refers to how we build connections with our own surroundings, with the people that we love, the people that we care, and improving relationships with them, and also creating a solid support system. Because I do believe that a strong foundation in our support system is one of the keys to achieve a very, very optimal well-being, because we need those support system whenever we go do the path that we do. Because sometimes we don't know, right? Like let's say maybe today we don't think that we need anyone, like we don't need friends, or we don't need so many families or that. But then by the end of the day, when we face challenges, when we face setbacks, those are the people that we need to count on. And for me personally, I think managing relationships nowadays, as I age, it's no longer about quantity. So it's more about quality. So we don't have to always have lots of circle of friends, many, like countless friends. We don't really have to do that every time, but what matters is more of the quality. So for me, I tend to think like, okay, I have several friends. Okay, which one have I yang udah lama nggak ngobrol, like which one that I haven't seen a lot gitu in the past, let's say, few weeks. I usually contact them and let's do catch up, do some coffee, do some lunch or dinner, just to get in touch, and again maintaining that relationship. So we know that, and they know too, that we are still thinking of them, and whenever we need them or they need us, we'll be there. Yeah, so that will help you build a strong support system. And lastly is the emotional and mental wellness. So this is the one that we will discuss much today, including the journaling and yoga. So emotional wellness refers to our own ability to understand, to manage, and express our feelings in a healthy and constructive way. Yeah, so it involves first being aware of your emotions, and then coping with stress effectively, and then maintaining satisfying relationships. So sometimes when we feel maybe overwhelmed, or we feel anxious or sad, or maybe happy, or maybe angry or upset, sometimes we don't know what we feel. Yeah, what is shown is just, we're very heightened, we're very stressed, let's say, or we're very anxious, but we really don't know exactly what emotions we're experiencing. So the first thing that we need to do is identify those emotions first. Yeah, identifying, and then by knowing what we are feeling, we kind of then will know what we should do about it. Yeah. And then reducing stress and anxiety, we'll discuss this more after this, on some of the things that we can do to reduce stress, reduce anxiety, knowing what to do when we face those. As for instance, like doing mindfulness, staying in the present, being focusing on really what's in front of you instead of focusing on what's in the past or what's in the future, because that's what anxiety is about, right? Sometimes we overthink, oh, what's going to happen if I don't do this, or what's going to happen if she doesn't do this and I don't do this, and blah blah blah, and it becomes overwhelming for us, right? But by practicing mindfulness through different activities, one of them is yoga. It can help us reduce that anxiety because we focus really on what's in front of us and what we can control instead of what we cannot. Yeah, and also having a good mental clarity, which means a good mental state of mind, a good mental habits, positive mindset, maintaining good mental health habits, again, like mindfulness and relaxation. Okay, so we already talked about the 8 pillars of wellness, and now I'm going to talk about what is stress. Yeah, so stress itself is our own body's natural response to a perceived threat or challenge, where it triggers a fight or flight reaction, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. So stress is something that everyone experiences. Yeah, literally from everyone, younger ones, like from toddlers, school-age children, teenagers, young adults, elders, everyone must have experienced stress. Yeah, but the intensity of the stress might be different, and how we manage it is also different. Yeah, so today we're gonna discuss how to first identify stress. So the first thing that we can realize when we have stress is by being aware of any physical reactions that our body shows us. For instance, like a rapid heartbeat, sometimes we feel like a massive headache or migraine, or when we have sleep and digestive issues, or in our emotions we feel irritable, impatience, when someone, like maybe your friend or girlfriend or boyfriend, says something, just a small thing, but we became very irritable and we sometimes lash out just because of those small things. Maybe it's because you're under stress. And then when we become overwhelmed, anxious, agitated, maybe difficulty concentrating, maybe at school, at work, increase or loss of appetite, because sometimes when there are some people who tend to look for food when they feel stressed. Increase alcohol intake, for those who usually only drink alcohol weekly and it suddenly becomes a daily thing. So you should be pay attention to that. And lastly, procrastination, delaying any daily task or anything that you have to do. That is an indicator of you're experiencing stress. Okay, so the impact of stress itself, maybe we can put it into 3 categories. The big category, which involves productivity, relationships, and emotional well-being. So the impact of stress in productivity includes, like I said earlier, decreased concentration, focus. Sometimes when we feel stressed, we feel overwhelmed with our own thoughts, and we sometimes worry about our thoughts too much, which leads us to make more mistakes, slower pace, and when we work. Yeah, procrastination, again, delaying things because it may seem the task that we have to do seem too daunting, too unmanageable. So we think that, okay, we'll just do it that later on. And then reduced creativity. Sometimes it impairs our creative thinking, our problem-solving ability. Physical exhaustion. Stress can also lead to physical symptoms like fatigue, headaches, the one that we've mentioned before, and also burnout. Yeah, prolonged stress can lead to burnout, which means that everything about us, like physically, mentally, emotionally, we feel drained. Yeah, like I don't know if you guys have experienced this before, but people with burnout usually really don't have the capacity, don't have the energy to do anything. Like even talking to other people, they don't want to do it. Like they just don't have the time, don't have the energy to do so. So that means that you have experienced a prolonged stress and needs to be, managed. Needs to be managed. And then in terms of relationships, stress, again, it will increase your irritability, maybe withdrawal or isolation. Some people tend to withdraw emotionally because they sometimes distance themselves from others, thinking that, oh, no one can understand me, no one knows what stress or what kind of work I'm dealing with, so they tend to isolate themselves. And that way, they also tend to be less emotionally available for other people because they feel like they're, again, emotionally drained and too focused on their own worries. And because they're emotionally unavailable, they tend to neglect relationships. Yeah, sometimes they feel rejection, resentment, and again, staying isolated. And lastly, the impact of stress in emotional well-being is, again, the increased anxiety and worries, mood swings, ups and downs. Maybe we feel less satisfied with all the things that we do. When we go on holidays or when we meet with people, meet with our friends, sometimes we tend to think that, this is I'm not really happy because there's so many things in our head that we can't really manage. So there's a decrease in happiness. Sometimes you also feel helpless, hopeless. We think that there's nothing else that you can do. And also a lower self-esteem. It's been found that by having stress and by experiencing stress, we tend to be less confident in ourselves because we think that we can't face what we're facing, and that means that we can't do anything. Yeah, because people with stress, anxiety, we tend to overgeneralize. Okay. And so, how do we try to navigate it? Yeah. So these are the options that we can do to practice to navigate stress. The first one is journaling. That's what we're going to do today. So journaling is really helpful because you have a space for expressing your emotions, expressing your feelings by writing it down with no judgment whatsoever, right? So you can write anything that you want, anything that you feel, and especially when it's directed with questions and guided, it's really helpful because you already kind of know what you need to write instead of just writing on a blank piece of paper. Secondly, managing your time, managing your task. Use time management tools that would be very helpful as well in managing stress, especially in terms of work. Setting healthy boundaries. For instance, like if you feel like that your work is, consuming too much of your time, maybe it's time for you to set healthy boundaries, like knowing when to stop, knowing when to take a break. That's really important. Doing meditation, mindfulness, again, giving your time a space just for yourself, just for you to enjoy being in the present, living in the present. Moving your body, doing some exercises, get quality of sleep. And if these options still are not really helpful for you, like it doesn't work, so I think that seeking help from a mental health professional, like a psychologist or a psychiatrist, would be a good option. Yeah. Because seeking help from a mental health professional does not mean that you're crazy. So it means that just meeting, it's basically meeting another person, and you get to tell your stories, your emotions in that safe space with no judgment whatsoever from the clinician. And from there, you can get an insight and a different perspective, I would say, a neutral perspective from a third party. that doesn't have any information about your relationships, your background, your work, just simply what you tell them on that day. So that would be an option to consider if these other options are not working. So yeah, I guess that's it for the materials. We can get into Q&A. Any questions? You can just raise your hand. Hopefully I can answer it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Rani.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Before you said that we need to, what is it called? Like, we need to identify our emotions when we're like overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, do you have any tips? Because usually, oftentimes, there's like a lot of emotion all at once,
Yeah.
and I felt overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, I would just dissociate
Mm.
instead of acknowledging what is going on right now.
Yeah.
And I would just stand there and like not
Do nothing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do nothing,
Yeah,
and then it would just impact me in my daily life,
Okay.
from my sleeps, my works, everything. So maybe you had like a tips to like get out of that slump.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, it's a really good question actually. So, how to identify your emotions when you feel very overwhelmed with it? Yeah, I think one of the tips is that first, when we feel an emotion, certain, especially when negative emotions, yeah, when we feel upset or sad or angry, we usually don't have the capacity to think, right? So we do things impulsively and we do things based on that feelings, which is very dangerous actually. So what we can do first is, take a step back by, taking deep breathing techniques if you've heard it before. So make sure that your mental state is not at the highest. So make sure that it at least goes a bit lower. So your heartbeat becomes, it doesn't go too much, like too rapid. Make sure that you're on at least a more stable mental state. Do some deep breathing techniques. Do some mindfulness techniques. You can search that also in. There are so many videos in YouTube. So by being able to at least a bit more stable in our mental state, in our feelings, that way, our cognitive part in our brain, inside of the emotion, can work. Yeah, so that way we start thinking, okay, what is it that I'm feeling now? Yeah, but if it doesn't work, maybe writing it down would be helpful as well. Yeah, so just write down everything that you feel. Like, let's say I'm so angry because my sister does this, or my boyfriend does this. So write it down because it's in psychology we call it catharsis. If you've heard it before, catharsis is an act of really expressing everything that we feel. Yeah, and writing is one of them. You can do writing, drawing. Yeah, so that at least those emotions are already out of your body. Yeah, if it doesn't work, maybe do a bit of exercise that that really requires big high energy, like maybe running, cycling, or boxing. It really helps you. At least after that, you feel a bit more calmer, and that way you can start noticing. Oh, okay, what was it that I felt before this? Yeah, was it really anger, or was it actually sadness? Or is it feeling scared or anxious? Then maybe you can write it down as well. So that way you can start knowing what it is that you feel. I hope it answers the question. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Okay. My name is Fatima. I want to ask your question is I actually do journaling for more than a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but lately I've been in the setback. Like I haven't done my journaling constantly, but sometimes I write down my thoughts in my notes. I want to ask, what's your favorite prompt that helps your self healing? I mean, for self healing context, what's your favorite prompt? I used to do add gratitude, and maybe you have other recommendation prompt that you can use. Thank you.
Okay, so the prompt to To do the journaling? Or?
Yeah, the journaling for helping or to maybe if we have stress or maybe we have mental health struggles. What do you think one prompt that or other prompt that can help? Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's a tough question. Other prompt. Okay, so you already did journaling, but then this year you haven't been doing it too much, yeah, so much, yeah. Okay. Have you considered using other journals like a guided journaling?
Bullet points.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Maybe I would say, do you use colors?
Digital.
Oh, digital. Ah, okay. So you write down your journals digitally?
Yeah, on Notion.
Oh, on Motion. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I would suggest actually writing it down directly
Oh, okay.
using pencil and paper. I know I'm a bit of traditional. I'm a bit old, but I think it's when you write down in a notebook and type it in your laptop, it's different. Yeah, because when you write it down, you feel it, right? When you put a sentence or when you put A, B, C, D, E, you feel it in your fingers, and actually it translates. It's a part of the way you express your emotions, right? How you grasp your pencil, your pen, how strong it is, and which color that you use, and how big you want to write it, how small it is. It really impacts the way you express your emotions. So I would say go manual. So use pencil and paper.
Can I ask follow-up question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I try to do it traditionally, but sometimes my thoughts went faster than my hands. Yeah. I don't know. I used to think that's what makes me kind of like, oh, I can't write all my thoughts because my thought jumps from one to another fast. So do you have maybe tips to that?
Yeah. Okay. So what happened? What happened there is that you give yourself a judgment, right? You judge yourself because you're unable to write it down your thoughts faster, not fast enough. So you just like, okay, I don't think I can do this. So when we do journaling, usually I would recommend to avoid any judgments to our own selves. Jadi just write down anything you want because no one will read it. Only you will read it, and it will only benefit for you, right? Jadi just write down anything that you want without any judgment. Like just be mindful. Whatever that you write, you know that it's for a good cause. Yeah, whatever. Even if your thoughts are not written yet, it's fine. Just write as good as you can, write as fast as you can. But if it doesn't work, okay, when we can try next time. Maybe we can try another 10 minutes or things like that. Like give yourself a break. Jadi when you do it, don't push yourself too hard about it juga gitu.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? I think one more question, yeah. You have 2 minutes. Okay. Anyone? You can ask me anything.
Maybe I have a little question, Kak.
Sure.
So, when our mind is kind of flustered, how do we define what kind of supports that we need? Because sometimes telling people around you to support you while you're in the lowest condition can be more frustrating. So how do you define what kind of support that you will need from somebody around you?
Okay. Okay. That's a good question. So, how do we realize or identify which support we need? Yeah, whenever we feel stressed or flustered. Okay. Maybe for me personally, I think I usually look for someone that has a great understanding of a surrounding. Like I think you can read people. Yeah, sometimes when you talk to people, you can understand by their responses. Oh, this person is a type of person who is open-minded. This person is a type of person who is non-judgmental. Yeah, so maybe look for friends who or families who have that I would say quality. Yeah, maybe it's kind of hard in the beginning karena kan harus trial and error juga. But then, like for me, for instance, my sister used to be very judgmental, but then she started doing counseling and therapy as well. After that, I realized there's a shift in her behavior and her responses as well. Suddenly, she becomes a person that tries to understand people's perspective from a different point of view. You know, whenever I say, oh yeah, this person is so crazy, blah blah blah, or she's so annoying, but then she gives me a different reasoning, like, oh, maybe she's like that because she had a very bad day or things like that. So maybe look for people who have those qualities, who have the capacity to understand a situation in a bigger picture. But if you feel like there's no one around you that have that kind of quality, maybe seeking, doing consultation with a counselor, with a psychologist would be a very good option as well. Because those people, for instance, me, we are trained to, listen to people's challenges, be it their daily or lifelong problems, challenges, and we are there for you guys to listen and also to hopefully give you guys some insights, give you different perspectives, give you some suggestions as to what you can do to manage it. Gitu. Jadi, just even doing it, if you don't want to meet offline, then you can do it online. Just like give a call, a Zoom call, just tell whatever you feel. We all, as the professionals, we are happy to help the way, however we can. Gitu. I guess that's it. Yeah, thank you.
All right, I think that wraps up our Q&A session. Can we give another round of applause for our
Thank you everyone.
lovely
Thank you for the question.
facilitator? Thank you so much, Kak Ghianina Armand, the clinical psychologist, and also thank you to Kanina Priatna as the Self-Hug co-founder. Tapi kita gak sampai sini aja ya. Tadi kan self love atau self care itu juga involve body and soul. Nggak cuma soul kita aja yang kita kasih, kita feed, but also our body. Therefore, I would like to invite another wonderful facilitator. Kita akan do a little bit stretching and also meditate a little bit hari ini. And without any further ado, I will pass the floor to the yoga instructor of Registered Yoga Teacher 500 Hours. Please give a warm welcome to Diana Musakat.
This one, yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diana. I'm honored today to guide you for stretching and meditation. Don't worry, we're not going to do yoga today. And if you've never done any meditation, it's okay. We're going to do very gentle and light. And I want you to try to focus on your breath. And if your mind is wandering, just stay focused on your breath. And okay, let's start. interview or meeting client, this one, it helps you to release stress actually. So put your hand here, rotate your shoulders, close your eyes, inhale through your nose. Everybody close your eyes.
Oke, hai semuanya. Gimana sesi meditasinya? Great. Do you feel all very relaxed now? Okay, great. Okay, so now with me, I'm going to guide you through the journaling session of today's workshop. But before we start, again, there will be a small activity which will involve all of you. So mungkin aku akan minta di sini ada berapa orang Cis tadi aku lupa. Ada 30-an ya kalau nggak salah. I think we're gonna make 8 groups. Ya, ini berlima atau mungkin dibagi 2. Ya. Satu grup berapa orang Cis? Oh ya, satu grup berempat boleh nggak? Jadi mungkin yang deket-deketan aja. Oh ya, 3 sampai 4. Ya, dan ini there's a small activity. Christabel will help to share the prompt cards. Jadi for this connection card session, the goal is to have you connect with each other, of course, dan biar lebih nyaman aja sih for today's journaling workshop, ya. For this part, I'm gonna maybe go off the stage soon, but yeah, coba ya, udah semua ya. Oke, kalian bisa duduk lebih nyaman by the way, nggak harus kayak sebelah-sebelahan. Maybe kalau mau hadap-hadapan juga boleh. Yes. Dan masing-masing grup itu kita udah siapin 5 prompt cards ya. So if you have it, you can start right away. But just a brief instruction. Jadi ada ada 5 prompt di masing-masing deck dan harapannya adalah untuk setiap prompt itu kalian bergantian untuk menjawab pertanyaannya, ya. Jadi nggak satu orang jawab satu, tapi semuanya menjawab setiap kartunya, setiap prompt yang ada di deck kartunya. Oke? Yes. Jadi go ahead. Di sini I'll give you guys 10 minutes, and yeah, you guys can explore the connection cards. Hello? Okay. Have you finished all of the questions? Belum? Masih satu lagi? Oke, boleh. I'll give you 1 minute to finish up ya. Okay, guys. Sorry, I have to cut it a little bit short for the sake of time ya. Mungkin boleh di taruh di samping dulu connection cards-nya, and then we're gonna finally get into the journaling. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so how was it? Did you find any of the questions interesting? Ada yang anything apa namanya? Anything new you learned about your friends? Yes? Yes, okay. Okay, so now mungkin I wanna ask you guys to pick up your workbook sama pens-nya ya tadi. You have them already. Okay, and I want for everyone to go to part 1. So this journaling session will be very much connected to the meditation, the prompts yang you guys already reflected on, and also the content yang dari Ghianina, gitu ya. So how this flow is going to be, we're going to journal a few prompts together. Abis itu, you guys can discuss again as a group. Ya, jadi nanti flow-nya akan seperti itu. So for the first part, looking inwards, on a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with your current quality of life? Di sini mungkin apa namanya pertanyaannya it seems quite deep ya, but this is more just for you guys to reflect on your own quality of life at this point in time, and it's just for you to identify. And what are the 3 emotions you feel most frequently, and how do they affect your daily life? Yeah. So for emotions wise, sebenarnya as a human we have a lot of emotions. There is a tool that we have which is called the emotion wheel. We have it in our journals. I should have had the slide di sini ya. But yeah, I just want you guys to explore sebenarnya all the emotions that you're feeling most frequently gitu. It can be joy, it can be frustration, it can be anything. Yeah. So just be open to yourself, I guess. bantu meningkatkan kualitas tidur teman-teman di sini? Does it help you to focus more? Does it make you a better partner or a better friend? Or mom maybe? I don't know if there are any moms here, but yeah. And if you guys have any questions on the prompts, boleh langsung tanya aja ya. It's definitely fine. You can ask if anything is unclear. Oke, mungkin sekarang what you can do is go back in your groups yang tadi ya, dan mungkin sharing sedikit tentang your reflections on page 1 and page 2. As comfortable as you are ya, nggak harus semuanya di-sharing kalau nggak mau, cuman I just want you guys to maybe connect more with each other and talk about the prompts together. So the point of the group discussion is more to maybe share each other experiences, dan mungkin kalian bisa saling berbagi gitu. Some tips maybe on how to manage your stress and connect with each other's experiences. I'm gonna give you guys another 2 minutes, yeah, and then we can continue. Oke, hai teman-teman, kita lanjut ke part 2 yuk. So mungkin buat ya between now and the end, aku akan bacain beberapa prompt saja, and I'll just let you guys fill in semuanya, dan mungkin discussnya bisa di akhir gitu ya. So as we don't have much time, but okay, so part 2, after kita udah reflect, you know, what are the things that make us feel stressed, what are our coping strategies, are they effective or not? Now, I want you guys to imagine a calm and stress-free self. What do you see, and how is it different from your current life? Yeah. So here you can relate it to the visualization that you guys did during the meditation. For some, it can be I'm also thinking actually how to answer this one. Cuman you can think of a life maybe where you're able to better manage your stress, karena mungkin stress-free seems a bit, you know, I think there's good stress, there's also bad stress. And the bad stress is the one that we want to manage kan, where it doesn't affect your day-to-day. You can also then reflect on a time when you overcame a difficult challenge. What did you learn from that experience? So the power of reflecting on difficult things that happened is for you to remember the lessons that you learned, yeah? So maybe not to do it again for your own well-being. And then you can explore your self-care routine. Ya, di sini mungkin ada yang udah sering journaling, mungkin ada yang belum pernah sama sekali. But anything that is bringing you joy and relaxation itu sebenarnya a form of self-care, right? It can be listening to music, it can be going to workshops where you're doing something different. So any of these things you can explore. There's something called emotional self-care, so self-care for your emotions and your mental state. Ada physical self-care, which is, yeah, movement, it can be for some. And then social self-care, which is, you know, connecting and building relationships, yeah. And then if you think of one area of wellness that you want to improve, what is it and why? Yeah, so now I'll let you guys journal for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll let you guys discuss again. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, everyone, if you're done filling in the questions, the prompts in the second part, feel free to go back to your groups to discuss what you filled in, in the journals. So we're gonna give you guys some minutes to discuss with your groups if you're done filling in the journals in the second part.
Okay, guys. Sorry, belum selesai ngobrol lagi ya. Okay, so now we actually have a few minutes buat part ketiga ya. So di sini I want you guys to find the page part 3 and we will look into now what are the actionable steps ya. Jadi I think a good practice with journaling is not only to explore what and why, tapi juga how-nya, ya kan? Jadi di sini now that you've already explored the different things that you can do to reduce your stress, apa actionable steps yang bisa kita lakukan misalnya di short term future, misalkan di weekend ini atau di minggu ini. So have a think on what small actionable steps you can implement. Jadi biar nggak terlalu overwhelming, you can think of just small actionable steps-nya aja. Yeah. And then there is a part on how can I create a self-care schedule that prioritizes my well-being? What activities will I include? So you can think, okay, mungkin di sini kan semua punya schedule yang berbeda ya. Ada Mungkin beberapa di antara kita yang lebih banyak waktu di pagi, di sore atau di malam. So whatever fits your schedule should be included there. And once you have thought about the self-care schedule, untuk pertanyaan ini mungkin it is good to explore the skills and strength you possess to help you overcome your challenges that you face. Ya, ini lebih ke internal resources sih. So is it emotional regulation? You know, if you see, for example, a mental health expert, this is also you taking control lah of your situation gitu ya. Yeah, and then the last prompt here, we want you to write a letter to yourself, offering words of assurance, of reassurance, and support to soothe your mind and emotions during stressful times. So this is again very personal note to yourself. You don't have to finish it here today, but if you do, that's also great. So I'll give you 4 minutes maybe to explore these prompts, yeah. And then I would like to ask maybe somebody from the crowd to share their key learnings and takeaway. Okay guys, so thank you for joining the journaling session hari ini. Mungkin sebelum kita selesai, aku mau minta sedikit pesan kesan dari kalian sih, if you guys want to share maybe. Anyone? How was the meditation? Did you feel the impact of it? And how was the journaling session today? Ada yang ngerasain langsung nggak mungkin manfaat dari journaling itu sendiri? No? But overall, was it good? Are you guys happy? Yeah? Okay. Okay, good. Well, I guess that's fine. Okay, sure.
Oke, tadi sebenarnya aku sempat datangnya terlambat. Ini Indonesia nggak apa-apa ya?
Boleh ya.
Tadi sebenarnya sempat datang terlambat juga dan juga tadi sempat keluar ke toilet. Aku jadi sebenarnya itu kan tadi aku previously mention aku udah journaling ya. Cuman coming here actually itu bikin niat aku journaling makin balik karena ketika udah sering journaling itu sebenarnya bisa jadi tanda ketika kita tuh not okay. Jadi misalkan ketika aku stop journaling, it means mood aku tuh naik turun gitu. Dan aku previously karena aku juga seek professional help dan udah pernah juga kayak dibilang, Fatima tandanya kalau mau relapse itu apa gitu. Baru aku bilang kayak aku berhenti journaling kayak gitu. Dan jadi coming here today dan ngobrol sama teman-teman aku juga realize kayak oh ya, kayaknya aku berhenti journaling dan right now aku lagi naik turun moodnya. Kayaknya kalau misalnya aku start journaling, it will make me a better feel atau mood sih gitu. Thank you Kak.
Thank you, amazing. Yeah, no, I totally get it sih. Yeah, that happens with all of us and habitnya mungkin agak sedikit susah ya untuk kayak setiap hari gitu. Tapi I think it's okay as long as you know what that means for you ya. Misalnya kalau kamu berhenti journaling, and I'm happy that you're more motivated now. Thank you. Okay, mungkin karena udah waktunya, I want to say thank you again. Setelah ini mungkin aku akan panggil Hasna somewhere if she's anywhere in the building. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for your time dan semoga workbooknya itu bermanfaat buat kalian. You can definitely keep it and you can finish it at your own time if you have any spare time this weekend. And hopefully I will see you at our other workshops. Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
All right, can we give another big round of applause for our amazing facilitator? How are you feeling today, guys? Right now, are you feeling better? Much better. Yay! Happy to see you feeling this way. And if you want to stay tuned with their upcoming events, you can also follow them on their social media platforms so you can check out what's upcoming events and you can participate more on their programs. And earlier in this event, we asked a trivia question for you, and the question was, true or false, writing about stressful experiences only increases negative emotions? And the correct answer to that is false. Writing about traumatic, stressful, or emotional events has been found to result in improvements in both physical and psychological health. Shout out to today's lucky one at Defi Lee from YouTube for answering correctly. And thank you so much for everyone who has participated in our trivia quiz. Don't forget to next time and catch a chance to get a live shout out from us. You can also find more insightful events here at America by visiting our website at www.atamerica.org.id. You can also subscribe to be our member so you won't miss out. Also follow us on our social media platform. We are on Instagram, X, Facebook, and also YouTube channel at AT America. And don't forget to take us on our social media platform of today's activities with the self-hug. All right, thank you so much again, everyone, for joining us today. I'll see you again in the next At America event. Bye-bye, everybody.